It was a budget bill that began at a figure of $520 million, but by the time they resumed session at 8 last night, it was $12 million larger. And this is where the controversy began, as Democrat Senator Ben Pangilinan introduced an amendment which would allocate an additional $12 million for 2008 income tax refunds. As for where this money will come from, Pangilinan cites projected revenue expected from taxing Guam's business community.
The corporate income tax actually is tracking $10 million more than was adopted in the previous budget.
But that didn't sit well with Republican Senator Jim Espaldon.
It just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right that we're doing this in the middle of the night when probably most sane people are sleeping. And yet here we are, willing to go out and do this without any input.
Senator Espaldon arguing this was not realistic and requires more input from the business community.
What's really the ramification of the world events going on around us that may affect our economy right here and right now for this year and next year and maybe even possibly the next year? Is it so good? Are we so insulated from all that that we feel so confident we can actually go ahead and borrow our lives away and be able to pay it back when we know everything else is on the decline? There is something wrong with that, especially when we do it at midnight.
Republican Senator Ray Tenorio also objecting to this new amendment, citing the world's current financial events and the impact that this may have on the island's fragile economy. He cautions lawmakers to avoid promising more than they can deliver.
If we're going to adopt a figure now, after all of the work that we did to arrive at a revenue projection which we thought was realistic, which we thought was honest, I really am disturbed, because I don't know what's going to happen with those individuals who we put this money to and say, you know what, we're going to increase the provision for tax refunds from 76 million to 88. Give them some expectation that they're actually going to get that money with the revenue estimates that's coming in. We talked about being honest. Is this really honest? Are we really telling the truth? Are we really going to put this before all of our people and say, you're going to get $88 million?
Needless to say, and despite all of the objections, the amendment passed with partisan support, and the budget bill at $532.7 million was transmitted to the governor's office at 3 this morning. Pangilinan saying this figure is still below BBMR's projected revenue of $550 million.